Hello, Woo.
Hi, Jacob.
Hi. So you got married about a year ago, just after I got married, right? Or just before?
Before we got
Before,
married
that's
in
right.
Sam and I got married in 2018.
2018, yeah. Wow. So you've been my brother officially since 2018.
hmm
Yeah, yeah. And I still feel like I don't know you as well as I'd like to, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, especially when we live
Exactly.
so far away from each other.
Yeah, you got your own life with Sammy out there in Seattle, and I'm in California, so it's not like we can just
Yeah,
spend weekends together, you know?
exactly. And yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a lot different if Sam and I both lived in California.
Mm. I would like that, but like Seattle's pretty cool generally. Not during pandemic,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, Sam and I, we both have kind of like stable jobs out here,
right,
so it's kind of hard. I think it's hard to just leave that and then just try to start new somewhere.
right. And you work uh warehouse for Philips?
Mhm.
That's super nice. A really good position to have during pandemic because you get to keep your job.
Yeah, luckily I was part of the whole essential, so
You and me
I
both.
didn't. Yeah, seriously, it was awesome. I got to keep my job. It was like good job security there
Mm.
too. So
A lot of people lost their office job or whatever they were doing and have to do it at home, and I don't think either of us had to deal with like much with that sort of thing.
not at all. I
I
was a
guess
little jealous of people that got to work from home
true.
though.
Yeah, I guess Sammy kind of got the brunt of it for a bit because they did lay off people because of that for a while, right?
Ye- yeah, yeah, that was rough. Um, and then like she went on unemployment for a little bit, and then she was working with my parents for a little bit,
Mm.
and then she had the opportunity to go back, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to go back
Hmm.
to Suriname.
But at the end of the day, it's a position that pays money,
Yeah, and
right?
then I mean, working there for a little bit, like there was a lot of changes at work, so she's in a good position right now
That's great.
to kind of move forward with her career there if she wanted to.
So, do you remember the year? Or I guess you wouldn't remember, but do you remember what year it was that your parents moved from? Where was it to where?
From Korea to Seattle.
Hmm. You remember
Yeah,
about what year that was?
no, I mean my dad moved first. He
Oh,
came over
really?
here first. Yeah,
And
yeah.
he settled down or tried to get a job somewhere? Or what did he do?
Yeah, he came over here first. He went to Oklahoma, and then he was there with my aunt for a little bit,
Cool.
and then he moved to Seattle, and then he was working like teriyaki business for a little bit under people, kind of learning the business, and
Hmm.
then when he was stable enough, my brother, me, and my mom, we all moved.
That's really cool. But like, that's really cool. He like came over here and kind of just did his own thing and ended up at some point starting his own business.
Yeah, I mean it took him a little bit, man. Like it wasn't like an instantaneous or not an instantaneous, but like a real quick thing. It was a long journey for him for sure.
Mm. And do you
Yeah,
know that your and was your mom like supportive of all this thing of all this stuff? Like she was like encouraging him to go to America and do this
yeah.
business sort of
I
thing.
mean I don't know the backstory too much. As far as my life in Korea goes, like uh, I don't have too much memory of it, but all I remember is like my dad moving to United States,
Mm.
and then we just kind of like found out about it. It wasn't like we had a sit down moment and talk about when he was gonna leave. He just kind of left.
Mm. As someone who was raised in like America, it's so interesting that like other societies like it's really not uncommon for someone to like pick up and move to America. Like
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like I've just always lived in it, so I've kind of taken that much for granted. But like, what America means to a lot of people is very different than what I think of it. Like,
Right, right. Very different.
would you say that he moved here for like opportunity's sake? Like, there was just more
Um,
opportunity here than at the time where he was in Korea.
I mean, Korea isn't like a really underdeveloped country or anything. It's a lot similar to where like America, where if you work hard, you'll get places.
Hmm.
You know? Exact reason why they immigrated here, I don't know. If I'm being completely honest,
Hmm.
I really don't know.
Well, it worked out for you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
shoot.
You met Sammy online about how many years ago?
Man, it had to be in like 2016.
2016. Yeah, 4 years ago. Damn. Probably more, actually.
Yeah, we're shuffling and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. That's where I knew you from. You were the guy Sammy was dating, who shuffled with her. That was like your whole description in my head.
Right? Dude, it's like, I don't know. When I think back to it, it seems like it was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
But in reality, it wasn't that long ago,
No, really.
It's just like, it makes me crack up when I think of like, oh man, I was really into shuffling.
But like you would do it now if like there was the right song playing or you were at a festival or something. I guarantee
Yeah,
it.
sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing that I got to learn, and if I was at a festival for sure, like, if it had to be, I could do that a little bit.
I guess with this podcast, what I'd be wanting to do with you is really get to know like where you came from and how you are now, because it's shaky until you actually start asking someone questions about themselves. Like I wouldn't say that I'm really confident in who you are as a person, because I just don't get a chance to talk with you that much. What is something you like doing right now, like nowadays?
What I enjoy doing?
Yeah.
Ah, man, I don't know. I've been trying to get into more like routine based lifestyle. Like
Hmm.
I just recently bought a book. It's like the Obama's new book.
Nice,
Yeah, autobiography.
dude.
Yeah,
It's the new one that just came out, right?
right. Yeah, I just got that. I'm not a good reader.
Yeah. Who is really? I'm not that good either.
I'm trying to get myself into like habit of just reading books.
Yeah, because
I'm just doing this thing where I just really like take my time with it. I'll read like chapter at a time type of thing.
Perfect.
I don't really like burn myself out to reading. Because if I obsessively do something,
Mhm.
I have tendency of just like burning out.
Right, exactly. And I think that's,
Yeah.
especially with something like reading, is the last thing you'd want is to dread picking up a book. So you
Right.
really don't want to like rush into things and take on too much.
Right. So I don't know, man. I think if I do this more often, I might have something going on.
Yeah, no, I mean, Obama was clearly like a turning point for America. And it was like when he got elected, a lot of people were happy because of what it represented. And I feel like
Right.
people are less happy about his memory now, but like at the same time, he still represented a different era of politics.
For sure. I mean, I was thinking about this not too long ago. I was like, man, like, why do I like Obama so much?
He's got a great smile, that's for sure.
For sure, man. Like, I mean, if I was to really break it down and try to explain to someone why I like Obama so much, I couldn't tell him anything like
Yeah.
worthwhile,
Yeah.
So I thought, maybe if I like took my time and kind of got
Yeah.
to know the guy, then I have a reason why I like Obama so much.
A better like basis to, make a judgment on him.
Right, exactly.
Hmm. Yeah, dude, I wished I was more into politics because that's where I want to feel like I was satisfied in a response when someone said, "If do you like to me too, like if do you like Obama?" I'd be like, I guess he seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like he knew what he was doing, but because I haven't really done a lot of research, it's like, do I really know if he was a good president relative to other presidents? Not particularly.
Exactly. That was my thing. Like, if someone was to really ask me, like, why do you like Obama? I couldn't tell them anything.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, I think with Trump, that was like a wake-up call for everybody, because they're just like, I was just so, I feel like people were happy because, like, they saw on surface level it was a dashing, like, black man, and they were, like, happy with that. And then they kind of let politics slide to the side, and then all of a sudden Trump jumps into office, and they're like, "Oh, wait a second, that's not what I wanted. I should pay more attention." And now seems like he's lost the election at this point.
Right. I mean,
Now that people are paying more attention.
When it comes to Donald Trump, it's like no comment. It's it's so divided in the way people feel about him. Either you love him or you hate him. And I'm sure there are people in between, but like that in between really doesn't matter when it comes to Donald Trump.
Right.
Like Obama era, there are people that are like, oh well, I don't really like Obama, but he did a decent job. There are a lot of people like that, right? But I feel like when people talk about Trump, it's just like either you love him or you hate him.
Always has been, it feels like that too.
Yeah, you don't hear about that middle ground.
Yeah, no, I think that he likes that too. I think that's kind of why he won in 2016. It was just he played to his base, and then also he taunted his enemy. And most presidents try not to outright taunt their enemy. They kind of like try to take a back road, where like, I'm not really destroying them as a person or taking personal attacks. What I'll do is find something that I don't like that they've done and tell everybody about that. But they're not outright going to say, hey, you're a loser. But Donald Trump just looks at the enemy and says, you're a loser. And everyone goes, oh, he actually can do that.
No, for sure. I mean, he like gives people nicknames and stuff, which I think is like hilarious.
Like Horseface.
Joe.
Yeah, Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe. Like, how do you come up with these?
Yeah. I bet he's got a team somewhere that's just thinking up memes all day long.
Sure, but it's like, I mean, what president have you ever seen like that was just this wild?
Right. I don't think ever. I think that this is the most like cartoonish president we've ever had, and we've had one with wooden teeth, and that's saying something.
Right. He's just such an animated person.
Right. Yeah. Like I would never have suspected we'd be in the universe where Donald Trump became actually the president of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's gotten to the point where you have people like celebrities now wanting to run as a president. It's just like, wow.
Do you have a lot of political beliefs outside of buying Obama's book?
No, I don't, and I hope this is like a footstep into that. There's a good chapter like in his book. I mean, I'm only like in chapter 3 right now, but like chapter 2 was about like his campaign and like what he grew up doing. Right?
His history.
There's a lot of right, and, like his younger like after college, how like he got into politics and stuff. And he's explaining a lot of like what happened and where he got into this and that. And it's just like I don't understand any of it. You know what I mean? He's like explaining his steps on how he got into like politics.
Politician.
I don't understand any of it.
Right, man. I'm gonna stay away from it. I don't understand that the sort of brain you need to want to go into politics.
Right, but I mean, I think it'd be nice to know a little bit about it. Because
Yeah.
it does come up in conversation. It'd be nice if like I had an input, like an educated input.
Yeah, and it's really important at the end of the day. This election, I didn't vote, just like I didn't vote in 2016. And this time when Piper voted, I was looking at the mail-in ballot that she was filling out, and I was like, this actually looks like something I'd want to do.
Right.
And I actually feel like, but I still don't feel like I'd be satisfied in my answers unless I actually had put in some research. So I kind of put it to myself that next election, the next 3 elections at least, I'll be actually voting on the candidates. I'll actually do a little bit of research. I'll figure out who I like best of all the options, and then I'll like actually make an educated decision, because I feel like that's the most adult way to look at this. And I've been looking at it kind of from like the perspective of it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, so I don't know why I'm wasting energy on this. And I still feel that, but at the same time, it's like, at least I could be doing a little bit of something, and if it's entertaining to do it, then why not?
I mean, I think it's just nice to know, like, you're contributing.
Yeah.
You're out there, like, you're actively out there, wanting your voice heard or whatever. Because I think voting is a big part of that, right?
It's great that we're allowed to.
Yeah, for sure. There are some countries where it's just like, that doesn't exist. But over here, you have the privilege of voting and stuff. So.
Yeah, and did you get a chance to vote in this election?
No,
No.
not yet.
Oh, you're still waiting on the on some uh, documents to go through.
Yeah, I don't know. With this whole COVID, like they're just kind of waiting around for the lawyer at this point. Which I gotta
Right.
get in contact with him.
Hmm. Seems like he's dropping the ball.
I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know. He said like because of COVID, he's low stats and he's kind of doing this on his own.
Like, everybody's kind of winging it, especially in.
Right, right. And with this whole new president coming in,
Mhm.
Biden coming in,
No one knows what's gonna happen.
right, a lot of immigration laws gonna change. So it's like I feel like we're just kind of playing the waiting game at this point. See if there's anything more, better suited for me.
Hmm. Would
Something-
Would you be classified as a dreamer?
Yes.
You would be classified as a dreamer. Very interesting, because I have a feeling that because whatever Trump did, the Biden's gonna reverse, and then
Yeah.
hopefully try to make the process easier for you as kind of like, I don't know, I'm sorry that happened, so here's a little bit easier process maybe.
Yeah. So I think like when it comes to dreamers, so there are dreamers, right, and there are DACA recipients.
Right. And are you
I'm
both?
I am under DACA.
Okay.
So do you know what DACA is?
I know it's something similar, but it's not exactly dreamer. I don't know much about it.
DACA is like it's dang. I'm like spacing out on the name for it. It's an abbreviation for deferred action.
Right. Okay.
Right. So it's for people who were forcefully brought into America
Yeah.
before they were legal age. And I came here when I was in like third grade.
Third grade. So you had no input on your future at that point, at that age.
Right. I just kind of went where
Right.
I went, it wasn't like I was aware of the consequences like this is gonna
Right.
have on me.
You didn't realize that it was going to make you American from that point on.
Right.
Because from that point on, did you have like trouble adapting? Do you remember at all?
No, I mean I got lucky because I came here so early.
Third grade is
So
pretty
yeah,
ripe time to.
Yeah, I adapted pretty fast.
Hmm.
I don't have that much memory of Korea for some reason.
Do you have any memories of Korea offhand?
Yeah, I have like bits and snips of it. But
Like what's like one bit or snip that you can recall?
It's like where we used to live type of thing.
Like just like the general feel of if you were there again, you'd get like a sense of deja vu.
Right, exactly. I mean, I couldn't tell you how to get there if I went.
No, right. Well, you were in third grade.
Right, you just have like clips of it.
And you have one brother and that's it? Or do you have a brother and
No, I just have one older brother.
one older brother? Older brother.
Older brother, that's older brother Jay.
Oh, I thought Jay was younger than you.
You're kidding.
This whole time I thought he was your little brother. I didn't know that.
No, he's my older brother.
Oh wow. Okay. So, and you're 29? 31. And he is
He is
30.
my older brother.
Right. He's just was there like a big gap or was it just like a couple years?
So I'm 29 and he's 31.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry. You're 29 and he's 31.
right.
And so he was 2 grades above you. Does he remember much of Korea?
I don't know. Him and I really don't talk about stuff like that.
Right. Well, I mean, why would you? You guys live in America now.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I asked Sammy about Elkhorn School where we grew up together. Yeah, very interesting. So, do you think that it would have been like so you have a different dynamic with sibling because I've always had brother sister and I feel like that's had its advantages and disadvantages. Do you ever wonder what it would have been like to grow up with like a sister instead of a brother?
I'm not too sure, man. My brother and I, like, we're good, but we have a very good relationship, but like, we're not like super duper close.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I feel like with Sammy. Too often, it's like it feels like you're my family and I love you, and it'll never be different than that. But at the same time, it's like I'm not talking with you every day, so
Yeah, I mean, when him and I lived in the same house, man, we used to argue like every day. It was
Mm.
bad too. And, we'd shout at each other and stuff. But
Yeah. I wouldn't say Sammy and I argued every day, but like it was the same. A lot of shouting.
yeah, I mean, two dudes in the house, it just yeah, it gets wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. After I moved out of the house, him and I like we've been getting better as years go on. So.
Hmm. That's good.
hmm
How would you say that you develop? Like, what do you do to hang out with him when you get the chance?
Oh, we don't really hang out.
Oh,
The
too
only time
bad.
we hang out is like when I go over there to eat.
Hmm.
You know?
Well, at least you do that. That I would count that as hanging out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So I mean, we try to go like a few times a month, on Sundays and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I need to call Sammy like more often because, man, it's so easy to forget that that's your family and you care for them and you like want to get to know them better.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like distance is everything. Too,
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to always check in on somebody,
Hmm. Hmm.
especially when you're like so far away.
Right. Right. Gosh. Did you guys go to the same high school?
Who, Jay and I?
Yeah.
My brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we did. He didn't graduate though. He got his.
Nice. Well, it's basically the same thing, so good for him.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Sammy and I went to the same school in Monte Vista, and it was okay. Do you ever look back
Yeah.
and wish that you had like focused a little bit more because you know that it would have helped you now?
I mean, there are those regrets for sure. Like,
Mhm.
I should have gone to college.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
But, it is what it is.
True.
You can't live based on how you feel about your past. You know.
Yeah. Going forward, it doesn't help.
Exactly. So you just kind of focus on what's ahead and just keep marching on.
Hmm. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, I guess, the two things that you know really well would be Kanye West and and tennis shoes.
I mean, I wouldn't say like really well, but I'm a big fan of Kanye.
Right.
I'm
So you've told me.
I'm a big fan of like Jordans and stuff like that.
Hell yeah. So, Kanye West, what is a good song by him that you enjoy?
Oh man, I can't. There's a no definite answer for that, unfortunately, because there's a lot of songs that I enjoy by Kanye. You know.
If you right now are like, I'm gonna listen to some Kanye West, and you go to Spotify and you hit random song by Kanye, what would you like? What would make you happy that popped up?
If I had to pick out of his album that would like make me really happy, The Life of Pablo. I mean, that's like an instant classic, Watch the Throne. That's also an instant classic. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. There's so many.
Hmm. What do you enjoy most about Kanye West and his music?
I think he's such a good storyteller. Like when you listen to his music and stuff, and like there's like there's a lot more to the lyrics on the surface than there is, Like when you really dig into his lyrics and his art
Mm-hmm.
and his music, like there's so much more to it.
Hmm. It's so much more than just like a good beat. It's like
Yeah,
it's like depth of actual story.
Right. Every beat in there and every lyric is a very I feel like personally very calculated, like serve on purpose type of like work,
Hmm. Like artistry, like he's poured over every ounce of this song and really like given his heart to you.
Yeah. For
Like
sure.
honesty.
I think he's an artist. Like
Hmm.
just what he's done with himself is like crazy. Like he has his music, and there's also like streetwear when it comes to Kanye. He has his whole like music
Right.
line,
Like urban style stuff.
Right. Like he has these shoes called like the Red October. Yeah, they go for like thousands.
Hmm.
You know,
Damn,
they
dude.
were like On retail they were like $250 or whatever. But now they're like insane. They're unaffordable.
Yeah. They became really wanted, and so it became really expensive.
Yeah, he collaborated with Nike, and he had the first Nike Yeezys, right? Those sell for thousands as well. They're like crazy. And then he collaborated with Adidas, and then he has like the Adidas Yeezys, like the boost, with all the boost lines, and it's crazy how like an artist can really
Dude, have you seen the
start a movement type of thing.
oh man, I don't even know what this is. I looked up Yeezy and there's like this alien footwear device that popped up. Here, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Like, yeah.
Hold on. Damn. His fashion is wild. Like that, there's some really nice looking stuff that I was looking on.
It's crazy. Like he brought back dad hat, right? Like, it was.
It's called what?
For a long dad hat. Like hats that are kind of curved.
Oh, I love these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would describe those as dad hat. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, like, I think in terms of fashion, like he brought that back to life, right? Like I don't know. He's done some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
There's
it's
such a big move, like following behind him too. Like a lot of people really like follow his fashion wear, his music.
Why do you think that would be? Would it just be because his music is really good, or would you say it's because of the content of what he's saying?
I think Kanye made some very like smart but embarrassing moves. For example, right? Like Kanye really brought himself into life when he did the whole scandal in front of Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's right, at the award ceremony.
Right. That brought Kanye into like that enemy figure where now he's
Right.
an asshole.
I watched that and I was like, wow, that was really interesting.
Yeah, right. That really put him on the map as a bad guy.
Yeah.
So
Do you think
from
before that
moment,
moment he wasn't much of a he was just looked at as a famous person, and then at that moment he was looked at as like an asshole famous person?
Well, I feel like that really like put Kanye on the map. Like it kind of made people see who Kanye. Like I mean, even
A passionate guy?
for Kanye. Not only that, just like imagine just people that would have never known about Kanye, right? They see this and they Google his name and they listen to his music. They
Right.
like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there was that. So
It's more
imagine that.
there's more press for stealing the mic at the award ceremonies than actually getting an award there.
Right.
You know, and like people are like, who the heck is Kanye West and why is everyone talking about him? And I'll look him up.
Boom. And then you listen to one of his songs and you actually like it. Then you kind of look into it more of his music and you're like, oh, I actually like his music.
What do you
And then when
think what do you think rap would be to you? Is it like just you'd say like you said before, like good stories, and that's what the most value comes from for you?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy music, for
Mhm.
sure, but I don't like
Religiously
music is my
follow it.
life.
Hmm.
You know what like I don't like live for music, that type of thing. I know there's
Same.
people that are like, oh, I can't live without music.
Mhm.
I'm not really like that.
There are plenty of songs for me that really get my blood pumping, or just like I really love this song and I would say that this is my favorite song, but I wouldn't say like that music is one of the things that drives me either.
Yeah, exactly. Like I enjoy music very much, but it's not
Hmm.
it's not my world of music that's a big one to me.
What do you think the core of like EDM would be? Do you think it's like
Core of
it's just
EDM?
yeah? Because when I look at a lot of popular, not Kanye West, obviously, from what I've heard, he's amazing, but other songs, it feels like there's almost no soul in them. Like when you go to an EDM show, it's like really awesome and fun to dance to, but other than that, it's not really
Right.
really worthwhile for me. Is that something
Yeah.
that you think about, or is that just you just like the good music?
I mean, I enjoy was a good music, but I mean, I'm just kind of thinking about what you said, like about the whole core of the music,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably when like they invented samplers. That's when like EDM, that's like the core of EDM for sure.
The core would be what? I'm sorry, I missed that word.
Oh, like when they invented like
Samplers?
sampling. Yeah.
Like, what would samplers be?
Uh, it's like you can chop up certain like like let's say there's a drum loop that you really like, right?
Oh, like on the keyboard, like electronic.
Yeah, like you can use a sampler and chop that drum roll up to where like you want to make it sound,
Interesting.
Kind of
In a very unique way.
Yeah, you're cutting off bits of sound, so you're like isolating every sound, like the drum, the kick, the hi hat, and then you're turning it into your own thing.
Right. Okay. And then do you think that just the ability to like make samples of sounds kind of like gave rise to the EDM culture, which is just like
Yeah,
dance
and then
party.
it's just like the ability to like kind of record, right?
Right.
Like digitally, you can manipulate the sound. You can mess with like the EQ and
Right.
have it sound a certain way. Like I think that's where it all like started.
Right. And yeah, no, I think that's just the technology behind it kind of drove it.
Right, exactly.
Hmm. Dude, these EDM places are really sick. I'm looking at some concert halls right now, and that's some pretty fun shows that I'm looking at.
Oh man, yeah, I've been to some really good ones.
Yeah, it's just the energy kind of like addicting. Like it's like, wow, this is really great.
Yeah, I mean, it gets old. I mean, I'm burnt out of it. Where I've had my fun,
Mm-hmm.
but in the beginning, like if you've never been and you like kind of walk in there, yeah, it's crazy. There's no words to explain it.
Hmm. Would you go to another one, or what, you think you're done forever?
No, I wouldn't mind going to another one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Why, you wanna go?
I'm always down. uh,
EDC?
hmm?
I said you wanna go to EDC?
EDC, where's that?
It's Electric Daisy Carnival.
EDC.
In Las Vegas.
Ooh, looks nice. I love the colors.
Oh yeah, they like rent out. I think I read that they rent like every LED available in the United States just for that event, or like Las Vegas or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking from an aerial shot, and it is wild. Looks like a wonder park. Yeah. I guess we can talk about other stuff if you'd like. How deep are you willing to go right now?
Oh, I mean we're here.
I'm here.
I don't mind.
Do you believe in God?
Oh man.
And this is obviously I love talking about the big topics because it's like
Yeah.
you can't give a wrong answer. No one's gonna fault you for saying something you believe now and it being you changing your mind later on. So just as general as you can, you're welcome to. Do you believe in God?
Yeah. Man, my very basic answer I can give you right now is like I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Right. Like it's living in today's society. I think it's very. It's I don't know. I feel like it's kind of sounding like I'm making an excuse, but it's hard to connect with God.
Hmm.
Like, oh man, I don't know how else to explain it.
If God contacted you, and this is just a thing to think like an exercise to think about. If God contacted you, how would you want to be contacted? Like in what way? Over text, over spiritual image in front of your face, an angel coming in front of you. How would you want him to contact you?
I'd want him to like physically.
God himself,
Be him. Right.
just to prove that he's like this is him. Hello. Uh-oh. Hello, sir. Hello? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hey! Never mind then. No, I don't know what it was. It wasn't me. Yeah, weird. And we were just getting into the good stuff too.
Yeah, right.
um, so what would you say? Do you believe in God or not?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not sure.
Hmm. What were you?
God?
I would say at this point, as much as I'd like to say yes, or I don't know, I would have to say no, but not
I mean,
not happily, like announce that. But like if you're, I would say no. I don't.
So, what do you believe? What do you believe in? Do you believe in anything?
Well, I believe that just like everything else, we react to the world through our senses. So at the end of the day, I believe in physical senses. So I do believe that I am currently have a headphone set on my ears and a microphone in front of my mouth, and I believe that.
I mean,
And I believe to an extent that's probably the core of what I can believe.
Yeah. I mean, do you believe in like the Matrix or anything?
No, God, no. God, no. I believe in the physical world as far as science could go. If you think you could come to an answer through science, then that's what I believe in.
Like none of the simulation, like you've been
I think it's. I feel. To be fair, you can't not prove that you're in a simulation. You know. So it's like if you tried to, it would always fail because, you know, this it's a simulation. You just all of this could be a lie. So I guess technically, in other words, to me, you'll never know if you exist or not.
I mean, dude, I read somewhere that I don't know what it exactly means, but that there are
Self-healing codes.
Right. If you Google them, you should be able to find some articles around that. But it's just like if you break the pattern of it, like
Interesting.
itself and like figure its way back.
And you're totally you think that that's a possibility, or are you just saying that it's a cool thought?
I mean, bro, just think about that. I mean, if there's stuff like that. Whoa, wait a minute.
So just confirming, you do believe in like the possibility of something supernatural happening, something that can't be explained by science.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. And that's totally valid because at the end of the day, science is just kind of like it can only go so far. It definitely can't explain some things. So.
Dude, our existence alone is so wild. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything crazy about it.
Right. I mean, Donald Trump became president. You know.
Our existence alone on this planet is just such a crazy thing that like.
I think
if
so.
anything was to go down, I was just like, well,
Yeah, I guess
anything
it's
can
over.
happen.
Right, you're right.
Anything can happen.
So you're just taking it more of a lax way. Like it's not something that you catches you up most of the time. You're not going to worry about it right now.
Yeah, I mean, when times are hard, right? It's just like I feel like I'm talking out, but it's like the easiest thing for me to
Hmm.
be gone. I need comfort. I need something. That
Hmm. I think
So
that
I know, like,
the best part of Christianity is the fact that if it's true, then you basically have someone that there's always another being there to give you a hug at all times, and even literally so. When you need a hug, there's like this person there to listen to you and to give you that.
right.
And I think, and that's a lovely thought.
For sure, to know that there's someone there with you.
Yeah.
Know that you're not alone.
It's
It's comforting. It's very comforting.
it's appealing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the comfort is kind of a really interesting thing that, like most religions, is kind of what that is. Like, religion to a lot of people is like a comfortable, like, blanket that you put on. It like helps you through your life. Yeah,
Well, I think like countries like Middle Eastern places take religion very much,
for sure.
like very more serious than we like a lot of Western countries do.
For sure.
I feel like their daily lives revolve around God out there more than it does around here.
For sure. I mean, any religion that has you at specific times of the day, multiple times of the day, bowing towards it is very much so intense, and really you have to have a special kind of dedication to do that when you don't have to, because like you can choose not to, but like they do choose to. So would you say that you believe in more of like the Christian version of God, or like you'd be more open to the Christian version of God?
I just because that's what I know. That's I mean, of course, that's what I lean towards more. I think a lot of religions like have kind of similar core values. Just don't murder.
Yeah.
They follow similar laws. So when you see a lot of religious people, more often than not, they're very kind people.
Very, extremely.
They're very gentle, kind people, and I think that's because like, regardless of what religion you come from, like you guys kind of follow similar core principles.
Like enough to get along.
Right, just to be a decent human being, to make people feel loved and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that Christianity is lovely, especially certain denominations of it. Like you're never gonna tell me that the Mormon you just met wasn't amazingly nice. They're all nice somehow.
They're so polite.
Yeah. It's so interesting though to talk about to people who actually do believe about why they believe, and I think that it really comes down to a sense of having a God there to lean on is so appealing that I don't know. I guess it just works for them.
And like I also understand people who go to churches and kind of get like they're just kind of turned off by the idea of it. Not because of God or anything, but just by like how some people, how some Christians are.
It always comes down to, in modern times, the stance on homosexuality.
Right, and it's just,
and that's valid.
I know not a lot of people are, but there are very judgeful people, judging people, right? Judging Christians.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting because I would say that that's because Christianity actually says that, because Christianity says that homosexuality is a sin, and that won't ever change. I don't think for Christianity. I think that I guess that's the core issue that people take with it. It's like, how could you objectively, if you look at a homosexual couple, I don't know how you could say that that's a bad thing just because they exist together. So, and then it's always like, and the Bible very does specifically say that stuff.
Yeah. And like for me personally, like I'm not gonna be upset at you because you think homosexuality is a sin, right? Like not you specifically, but
Right.
whoever it may be. But like when it becomes like, let's say there was some homosexual couples around and there was people started bullying them and stuff like that, then that's where like I have
Right.
an issue.
Right.
Like, you're allowed to have your differences. If you don't like the person, great. But it's just like
Mm-hmm.
when you start messing with the person just because of the way that they are, then I have
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah, yeah, dude. And I don't think that most Christians like are bad people towards homosexuality. Or homosexuals. I don't think that they're like outright rude to them. But there is.
I don't know. I don't know what. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I don't know what Christianity, like what part of it comes from. But you've seen those posters where like they go out and hold.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. There, it was literally like one family who started their own church who did that.
Yeah.
And like they're like pretty freaking crazy. God hates, F word.
Everybody or whatever, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when people see that, it's like, how could you not get turned off to the idea?
Right. Mm-hmm. It's more complicated than that, at least. And we,
Right.
as someone who came from the religion, it's like, of course, most of it's not that.
Right.
In
Someone
fact,
who doesn't know God,
yeah.
and you see that, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's your first impression of God.
Yeah, exactly. If you weren't raised in a religious household and then you see that the only thing you ever see is like Westboro Baptist Church,
Yeah.
I'm not really going to go in that direction. Yeah. I think that one of the good things, though, is coming from a religious background is like, I know that that's not true. And I have a better view, or at least kind of what growing up in the church is like. It was only from my perspective, but at least I know that it wasn't, here's what you should think about gay people. It never said anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you understand that sense of community,
Right.
when you're growing up.
Yeah, the community was nice. I never really felt like I had a great connection with anyone, though, but I don't think that was anyone's fault. I don't think that was the church's fault. I think it was just that there wasn't a lot of kids our age. I think at most we had like 4 or 5 total.
Yeah.
That was never enough to have like a really well balanced youth group.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I lived in LA, like we've been to a couple of like really big churches, and those were crazy. They're just like a lot of your age group. You make a lot of friends.
Yeah, no, we did not. Our church was freaking tiny, and looking back, it would have been nice to have a bigger like pool to have a youth group from, because we probably shouldn't have started our own unless we were gonna fully dedicate people to make it a good one. By the time we had someone to hire, it was already too tiny and there wasn't enough people to like make it fun.
Yeah. And I feel like your mom and everyone that runs the church over there, they do a good job of like
They do
all
okay.
the kids that they have,
Yeah, they do okay. Lovely people. At that church, growing up in it never really felt like a lot of people went to church every Sunday, and it didn't feel like a lot of people were like on fire for God outside of the community that they got there at church.
Yeah.
And I would say like one of the biggest things that like pushed me away from the church, or maybe that church specifically, was like this really intense blind faith, where it's like no one's really willing to talk about the serious issues that the outside world has with the church. Everyone's willing to just kind of not talk about that and only talk about the good aspects of a higher power, which is, and it's nice, but like, dude, people don't like you for real reasons, and you should actually like talk about that. And not enough push has been towards Christian apologetics in the church. It's usually just, if you want to, you should seek those answers, but like if you don't, then you don't have to. But no, you have to, because there's a did you know that there's a place in I think Numbers in the Old Testament that like actually tells God commands the Israelite army to sack the city, kill all the men, kill all the boys, kill all the women who've slept with a man, and then take all of the remaining virgin girls as slaves. And it says that, and that is a command by God to the Israelite army. And it's so interesting because it's like, how am I supposed to accept the loving aspects that I know that the church is when other lines in the Bible like that exist? And it's like, I really love the idea that you're telling me about this like loving God that is with me always. But at the same time, you're telling me that this guy is that guy, the same guy in this perfect book that is infallible. And so then I started like waking up to the idea, I think at that point, not because of that verse, but just because of other stuff I was thinking about at the time. It was like, I can't keep going with this, man. I can't keep acting like I think that there's a valid reason to not like homosexuality. And I know that it's not preached in churches, but I think it kind of comes with the idea that what you're doing is performing a sin and it's evil and I don't support it. Like they can't help but look at these people as others, you know, like they're not us because they're okay with living in sin. And I think that that's the wrong way to look at homosexuality, and like genuinely is the wrong way to look at homosexuality.
Sure.
Dude, I was talking with my grandfather, and God bless his soul, he's an amazing man, he's a loving guy, great wife.
What's your grandfather?
My mom's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were talking about religion, and he mentioned how you weren't allowed to hold any rank in the church if you were gay. And I was like, that is really interesting. And the reason, obviously, that people don't like homosexuality is that they would say it's a sin like any other. So you would say that addiction to drugs and homosexuality would be in the same thing. They're both sins. They're both equal in the eyes of God. And I was like, that's really interesting because the pastor of the church is an ex-drug addict. And that's lovely because, like, you know, he overcame that. And that power to him, and it's a great story, and I'm really happy for him. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, if you're going to tell me that homosexuality, let's say you have a gay person who isn't currently practicing, like, relationships, and he wants to become an elder in the church, you'd have to say no because you're interested in men. That's like telling the drug addict that you can't hold a position in this church, or ex-drug addict, excuse me, you can't hold a position in the church because you used to be addicted to drugs. So it's like, you just told me that just the attraction to the same sex is you're not going to treat them differently in the church. And I tried to get him to explain it, and it got to a point where, like, we weren't arguing or anything, I wasn't being rude, but it got to a point where he actually told me that he wanted to go talk to his pastor before talking more about it because he wasn't sure. So it was like, blind faith to me is like the most ridiculous thing, because you could just ask a couple questions about some key rules and understand that nobody's perfect, and including the Bible. Because there's no reason that I think that you could have to treat gay people in the church differently than any other sin, even if you're going to look at it like homosexuality is a sin.
I mean, I just think it's a hard topic for sure, right? Because it's very obvious to us. I mean, at least I'm speaking for you and I hope that like homosexuality isn't like it's something that we should accept.
Right, I agree.
Whether you want to with the disease or whatever, like, you know, I don't think we should shun someone away just because of their sexuality.
Exactly. I think
they're still a person, right?
Right. Exactly. And I mean, even that is an interesting thing to say, because it's like, we're all just people, you know? Yeah. We're all just people who are attracted to things.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it doesn't bother me or the way I like carry on about my life, like,
right.
I have no problem with it. Because, but I don't know. I think with, you know, like, our generation growing older and older, you know, and I think there will be a big change
going forward.
Yeah, going forward, you know, in that type of idea, like, where homosexuality is like not right. Like,
yeah, I feel like it's better now than it used to be. So at least there's that.
Sure.
Yeah, it feels like it's getting better every year. Yeah, almost everywhere here. Actually, everywhere here now. Yeah. that's, and I think that that question in the church is really important for a lot of people to come to, because if the problem is blind faith, and we can kind of finish it here, we're already at an hour. I think that, like, if the issue is that we're not communicating as a society, like in general, and like you can see how bad it's gone between right and left, then like internally as a family, as a church family, and as individual families and as individuals, we all have to communicate better. And that seems to be like the big issue, is something's happening that people aren't talking, and like really talking. And I don't know what it is, but I know that that's true. And the only way forward now is to every uncomfortable conversation, every comfortable conversation, like, you have to have them at least.
Yeah.
And that's kind of,
Forward,
yeah,
forward, yeah.
to move forward as a society. If you want to save what we have as a nation right now, the way forward is to talking about it. And that's why I'm really thankful that you were willing to have a conversation with me today.
Sure. Of course.
Yeah. And I'll post this and I'll send you a link, and that'll be that.
Cool beans, man.
All right. Love you, man.
I love you too, Jacob. It was nice chatting with you, buddy.
Yeah. Later.